All right, folks. Welcome to your first day of Physical Science 20. My name is Mr. Gallagher. I've been teaching for, forever, probably 13 years now. In the past, I've worked for Saskatchewan Environment and Environmental Protection. I've done research and development for an oil company. I've worked in laboratories, and I'm really excited about sharing my love of chemistry, biology, physics with you guys here this term. And I hope you guys enjoy it. Now, during the current circumstances of the pandemic, we had to change things up. So it's a bit unfamiliar for me, it's a bit unfamiliar for you. So let's give you guys a quick orientation for how things are going to go down. If we take a look at our classroom, we've got a stream, classwork tabs at the top. Let's start by looking at the stream. At the top, we've got a name of our classroom. We've got our class codes. This is how you can log in with your device. You can use this class code to join the class, as well as we have a meet link. So you click this link, boom, we're in a meeting. If we check out the announcements here, this is primarily where I'll be communicating with you. What is our assignment today? What are the expectations? We'll be throwing these down on the announcements page, so hopefully you guys can pick that up. If we take a look here, we've got a link for Google Hangouts and the Adobe Scan App. Google Hangouts is an app that you can get on your computer or on your phone. Just make sure that you're logged in with your RBE account. If you're logged in with your RBE account, then we should be able to use instant messaging to communicate via text, share video, share links, share screen grabs, as well as I can transmit a digital whiteboard to your screen. The Adobe Scan App, you'll be doing your work by hand and then scanning it and submitting it as a PDF. The Adobe Scan App, we're linked here on the page so you know what it looks like. Really useful, really easy to use. If you have the automatic setting on, just hold the camera above the page. It'll find the corners of the page, capture it once your camera's still enough. And then you move on to the next page and the next page until you're done. They'll all be in sequence. Submit it online, and that's how we're going to begin that process. You might want to change your notifications on your mobile device, your push notifications, so that when I throw down announcements, due dates, and so on, they'll show up on your phone in your system tray. And that might be a good way to keep on top of things so you don't fall behind. Again, I'm not super familiar with teaching this way, so if you click a link and I didn't change the permissions on it, or any other issues with the website, be able to access, contact me at Google Hangouts. I should probably be able to fix it pretty quick. Let's take a look at the Classwork tab. In our Classwork tab, we have our pandemic-friendly course design. So this is just a quick breakdown of how things are going to be different than a traditional classroom this term. A lot of people using the internet today. All right, so even next week when we're in class together, we'll be posting assignments via Google Classroom. I'll be sharing them in class. We'll be doing our assignments in class, the same as if we were doing them at home. Even when we're doing our work in class, we scan each lesson and submit it online. I will mark it up so you can kind of see here that on your page, I can draw text boxes around regions of the page that might contain an issue I want you to correct. There'll be a little bubble on the side to explain what the correction is. If you're on your mobile device and you open the PDF in Google Drive or any other kind of app, each of these speech bubbles will have a comment attached to it, a correction that I would like you to make. You get 1 out of 2 for each lesson, and they do add up during the year. It ends up being close to about 20% of your grade. You get 2 out of 2 for submitting it error-free. If you submit it with errors, you get 1 out of 2, but you can make corrections and resubmit. My only request is that you make a separate PDF file with your corrections and just upload the second file and just append the term submission number 2, edited, corrected, whatever. Keep the old file present and we'll just kind of add files during the resubmission cycle. At the end of a reporting period, we'll archive all of the assignments up to that point. I can probably only keep about 3 active lessons going at any one time. Make sure that you're following up with those due dates, and if you do fall behind, communicate with me on Google Hangouts that you've submitted some old work that you'd like me to take a look at, because chances are it's been archived and it won't pop up in my to-do list. Adobe Scan's fine. You'll find a few links here on how to do it directly with an Android or iOS device in Google Drive. Course calendar, you can pick up on all the due dates, assignments, and so forth. And primarily, this worked out pretty well in the previous term. Google Hangouts is a great instant messaging app where I can share with you feedback that you might not otherwise be able to find on the page, or I can coach you through the process. I can share with you some links, some YouTube links. I'll generate some YouTube content to demonstrate a few practice problems. Just let me know if there's a practice problem you need demonstrated. We can work through it together. Yeah, pretty straightforward. Our course calendar, like a regular calendar, just keeps track of all the due dates, when assignments are due, and so on. And our course syllabus. I'll print off one copy of this periodic table for you guys next week when we start our chemistry units. It's loaded with information on the front and the back side, but there is some blank white space around the margins. I'd recommend that any equations that you would like to have access to on your final exam, any brief notes that you want to take during the school year, just make those notes around the margins. You can bring this table in with you when you write the final exam. The first unit of study this year will be properties of waves. So if we take a look, the first lesson is 1.0.1. So the first digit, the 1, that's the unit. The second digit is the topic. The third digit is the lesson in that topic. So unit 1, topic 0, these are general math skills, so not directly part of the course, but these are skills we're going to use throughout the course. And then this is our first activity in that skill development topic. You'll notice that it's due today. You'll also notice that both of the assignments are attached. We have another assignment, 1.1.1. So unit 1, topic 1, lesson 1. We've got a series of tasks. So this is the tasks that we're going to complete. These are the questions that have been assigned. And since you don't have a textbook yet, I went to the trouble of scanning the chapter. So if you click on this link, you should be able to access the PDF that contains the reading required to complete this lesson. The oldest lessons are at the bottom, the newest lessons are at the top, so they're all in sequence. Due dates are listed here. Let's take a look at some of these documents. First, the course syllabus. So we've got 3 units of study. Each unit is subdivided into topics. Each of these topics has a set of evaluations. In terms of percentages of your final grade, they're all pretty similar in terms of how much they add up to your final grade. Depending on level 3, level 4, where we're at, how much time we're in the building, and whether or not lab activities are possible, we might need to omit some of these lab activities, which would then shift and change the weighting of our submitted lessons and our topic quizzes. This is, under ideal circumstances, how the evaluation scheme will be weighted. Our final exam is 15%. Scientific calculator is key. I'll see if I can create a video on how to use a scientific calculator, and we'll take a look at that a little. In terms of evaluation and expectations, I'll get you guys to skim through these. You don't need me to read them to you aloud. Our lesson that's due today, we've got significant digits and scientific notation. That's our first assignment. At the top of the page, we should find a URL, a web link, that's going to take us directly to a video that's going to explain what we need to do in this assignment. So after we watch this video, we have a couple questions to answer. And there's a few practice problems here that I'd like to quickly demonstrate as it relates to scientific notation and your calculator. Our next assignment that's due today, dimensional analysis. So this section, we've got another URL at the top of the page that we can look at. That'll explain what we're doing in this section. We've got a couple examples. This process is something we're going to use throughout both our physics and our chemistry unit, and it's a transferable skill really into a number of different units, different courses, different disciplines. Finally, this week when we're working from home, I've got some scanned readings. Too many teachers are running Zooms today. This is maybe a good time to mention that I won't be broadcasting a lot of Google Meets directly to the entire class. I'll be primarily communicating with you through the announcements page on the front of Google Classroom and contacting you individually directly using Google Hangouts. Contact me when you need help. I'll contact you if I need something from you. Otherwise, keep your eyes peeled on that announcements page. That's how I'll be communicating with the class while we're working at a distance. Our Wi-Fi is brutal. All right. I want to thank you all for working as hard as you are, make an effort. That's all I ask. Communicate with me if you have any questions, comments. If you're having troubles, we can work through it together. I can even broadcast, like I say, a digital whiteboard via Google Hangouts to assist you if you need any help with any of the problems you guys are working on. Feel free to take a picture of your work as well and send it to me. I'll let you know if you're on the right track. Until we meet again, have a great time.